The city of Valerian shimmered under the twin suns, its spires of glass and steel reflecting light across the bustling streets. Merchants hawked exotic goods from across the galaxy. Aliens of every shape and size moved about with purpose, and the occasional human wandered through, often underestimated and ignored. Among them was Elias Keth, a human of average build, average height, and average strength, at least in appearance. He walked beside his wife, Lyra, a prominent diplomat and strategist whose reputation among alien circles was unmatched. Where she commanded respect and attention, he was often dismissed. Aliens assumed that he was fragile, that his human form could never withstand the challenges of interstellar intrigue. They were wrong. The day began like any other, with the couple attending a high council meeting. Valerian's ruling assembly had summoned Lyra to mediate a trade dispute between the Dracorians and the Zephalites, two species known for their stubbornness and occasional violence. Elias accompanied her, mostly to support her and to observe. No one in the assembly paid him any mind. The dispute quickly escalated. Words sharpened like blades, insults flew across the council chamber, and soon a formal challenge was issued, a ceremonial duel intended to settle the matter according to tradition. The Dracorians, massive reptilian warriors, assumed Lyra would send her human husband to watch, but not to fight. Lyra's eyes met Elias's, calm but knowing. "They underestimate you," she said softly. He smiled faintly, adjusting the grip on his sword, a human-made blade forged from materials unknown to most alien metallurgists. Unlike conventional weapons, it carried an energy core, dormant until activated by its wielder. Elias had trained with it in secret, mastering not only its weight, but its resonance with his own bioenergy. "Let them watch," he replied. "They'll learn soon enough." The duel commenced in the arena, a circular platform suspended above the council chambers. Spectators crowded the edges, eager to witness the human's inevitable failure. Elias's opponent, a hulking Dracorian named Varkash, laughed, his claws clicking against the platform. "Step aside, human," Varkash rumbled. "This is no place for weaklings." Elias merely nodded, raising his sword slightly. The metal hummed faintly in response. He closed his eyes for a brief moment, centering himself, drawing on every ounce of human resilience and skill honed in preparation for this exact moment. The fight began with a charge. Varkash swung first, claws aiming for a lethal strike. Elias sidestepped with a speed that surprised everyone, even Lyra. His sword traced an arc through the air, not striking immediately, but drawing a line of shimmering energy. Then he activated the blade. A pulse of light surged along its edge, and the sword blazed with a brilliance that illuminated the arena. The energy core reacted to Elias's bioenergy, amplifying his movements and granting him precision far beyond normal human capacity. Gasps echoed through the chamber. Aliens who had doubted him stared in shock. The fragile human moved with grace and power, parrying strikes that would have shattered bone in a single blow. Varkash roared, slashing again and again, but Elias anticipated every move. His strikes were deliberate, not chaotic, cutting through the air with measured force. One swing sent a shockwave that knocked back the Dracorians' allies at the edge of the arena. Another deflection sent Varkash tumbling, only to rise again with renewed fury. The audience fell silent. Aliens whispered in disbelief. Humans, often underestimated, had evolved beyond brute strength. Elias embodied ingenuity, courage, and mastery over tools and energy unknown to most species. Lyra watched, pride swelling. Her husband, whom others dismissed as fragile, moved as though he were an extension of the blade itself. Every strike, block, and maneuver demonstrated not only skill, but an understanding of combat that transcended mere physicality. Varkash launched a final, desperate attack, claws ablaze, with Dracorian plasma. Elias met it head-on. Their weapons collided with a sound like rolling thunder, energy crackling in every direction. The arena trembled. For a moment, it seemed impossible that a human could withstand such power. Then, with a swift, precise motion, Elias disarmed Varkash, sending the Dracorian sprawling to the platform. The arena erupted in stunned silence, followed by a cacophony of cheers. Aliens who had doubted him now bowed their heads in respect. Humans in the crowd erupted in applause, seeing one of their own display a mastery they had long suspected but rarely witnessed firsthand. Elias lowered his sword, its glow fading, yet its presence lingering as a testament to his skill. He extended a hand to Varkash, helping the Dracorian to his feet. Respect, earned through action rather than words, had been established. In the following days, Elias's name spread throughout Valerian and neighboring systems. Where humans had once been dismissed as fragile, their resilience and ingenuity were now celebrated. Aliens approached him for training insights, council members requested his presence in diplomatic negotiations, and even Lyra's rivals acknowledged his power. Yet Elias remained humble. He understood that his strength was not inherent to his species alone, but the result of discipline, preparation, and the willingness to rise when needed. He continued to walk beside Lyra, ready to defend, support, and lead when circumstances demanded. Months later, the story of the duel became legend. Young humans were inspired, training in secret with techniques drawn from Elias's display. Aliens reconsidered their biases, acknowledging that humans, underestimated and overlooked, often possessed qualities that no conventional measure could reveal. Elias himself never sought fame. He knew that strength, true strength, was shown in action and courage, in moments when the world expected weakness, and the unexpected proved decisive. Lyra, observing him quietly, smiled. "Everyone assumed they knew what humans were," she said softly. Elias looked at her, sword sheathed at his side. "They assumed wrong." And with that, they returned to the streets of Valerian, side by side, walking among a galaxy that had learned, at last, that underestimating a human was a mistake that could never be repeated.